that our boys are working really hard to get to the next panel. We are going to start off with a leadership keynote. And this seems to be a very interesting topic for me, AI in education, because I have to deal with a lot of children all the time, a lot of young people, young adults. And this is going to be very interesting for me. I'm going to listen to this all through. I've been listening to all the panels, and each one of them has been very interesting. I have many key takeaways. And our speaker for this session is Professor Dr. Biswajoy Chatterjee. He is the Vice Chancellor and co-founder, UEM Jaipur. Before I request him onto the stage, sir, just 1 minute. We will just do a bit of the stage and then I will invite you. As you can see, since the morning, we have been presenting before you a lot of leadership keynotes. And you can see that leadership is the key word that has been ingrained into our heads, into our system since the morning. And I think it's important that each one of us take the leadership in whatever we are doing and however way we want to present ourselves. Leadership is the key. So here now, ladies and gentlemen, to present the leadership keynote on AI in education, I will request Professor Dr. Biswajoy Chatterjee, Vice Chancellor and co-founder, UEM Jaipur, to kindly come on stage, and a huge round of applause. A warm welcome to you, sir, and the stage is yours, sir.
Thank you. So good evening to you all. It is a bit late in the evening, and I can understand that many of you are there who is there in the system and is being a very patient audience right from the morning. It is difficult to continue so long, but it is great that you are still there and ready to listen to me. To make it very simple, I am a teacher. Yes, I am the Vice Chancellor of a university, but to start with, I am a teacher. So I am going to talk about teaching. You can see its use of artificial intelligence in education with emphasis to personalization in learning. So I'm going to talk on the teaching component of education primarily over here. Now, to start with this, let me tell that the problem that occurs in a classroom when we teach, that is the concern with which I'm over here, the discussion over here. It is that when we as a teacher, we teach in a class, there are students sitting in front of me. And those students come from different backgrounds, and there are many students who are gifted. There are many students who lack in the ability to understand. The point is, we teach them the same way in the class. And that is the problem. We have talked till now, starting from 2020 till now, we have talked a lot about NEP, the National Education Policy. And we all know that the National Education Policy has been designed primarily with the idea that the gross enrollment ratio increases. That is, the number of students who are leaving their schools, passing their schools, how many of them are actually passing their colleges? How many are passing the colleges too? The answer has been given is 26.3% in the National Education Policy. That is, only 26% of the students who are passing the school today are also able to pass the colleges. Question is, why? NEP has been designed so that the gross enrollment ratio changes from 26% to 50%. That is the primary idea of NEP. The 26% changes to 50%, and we become a Vikshit Bharat. But why is it 26%? Is economy the reason? Is it the financial problem? Yes, to an extent. But is it the only reason? The bigger reason, as have been found out, is not finance, is not economy. It is the problem that the student sitting in the class in a higher education fails to believe that I belong here. They fail to believe that I can continue with this. I can pass. No, that belief is lacking in the students. In a classroom, when we teach as a teacher, it is a very simple expectation, very simple expectation that the end of the class, all the students sitting in the class will be understanding and coming to the same level of understanding. Everybody will understand the same, a very simple expectation we can say. But reverse happens. Students who are gifted, they ask questions if they don't understand and go a level higher. Students who are not that gifted, has got the lack of ability to understand, they feel shy to ask a question with the thought that if I ask a question, I will be pointed out and everybody will start believing that I'm a fool, and they don't ask a question and they go a level down because others are going up. So the gap, which should be zero at the end of the class ideally, is actually increasing. It increases at the end of the class. And therein, AI plays a role. My research, my work is very simple. Personalization in learning. Teach a student the way he or she understands. Let the student learn in the way he or she understands, he or she is best at, and that is personalization in learning. If you look at the main uses of artificial intelligence in education in today's world, you will find there are many: personalization, grading, feedback, immediate feedback, but everything else kept on one side. The biggest side is the first one, personalization in learning. Let me get into this. So, I started with a very simple idea that artificial intelligence will be completely used in my work in order to teach the students better. Now, the problem is, the first thing that I get as a question when I talk about this in any platform, be it national, be it international, be it global, be it anywhere, the question that I face: does that mean that teachers are going to be replaced by robots? Teachers are not needed. Is it artificial intelligence which is going to teach the students? The teachers are not required. The question that comes to me is this, that 80% jobs will be taken over by artificial intelligence, and there are so many important people to certify that, to say that. But my point is very simple. My point is, I'm not going to use artificial intelligence to teach. I'm going to use artificial intelligence to find out how a student is going to be taught. Which student is going to be taught in what way. I started with a very simple, I started with a very simple application, and that was face distress detection method. I'm going to show you a video over here, and I believe this video will be able to explain to you what is the work I started with. This was my work, and that was when AI was still not considered a threat. People was not talking about AI. This is about 7 to 8 years back when I started this. And I want to show you this work which I did as an experiment in some colleges and schools.
Did you all understand how to divide? Did you all understand how to divide one number?
So I believe this video was self-explanatory, the work that I started with. It was 7 to 8 years back. Was that there will be a camera in the classroom to detect the distress on the face of a student at all points. So when over here the teacher was teaching division in a classroom, the camera detected a particular student named Joseph who has got a distress on his face and pointed that out as a list in front of the teacher that Joseph did not understand when he was teaching, when you were teaching division. This was the method I initially started with some initial success. But in the long run, the things did not go well. I'm telling you why the things went a little bit wrong. Because we found out for the reason for which a student who does not understand, does not ask a question, it is for the same reason he does not also want to show in his face that he does not understand. I'm telling you, it's the distress which the students want to hide. And once he sees that there is a camera in the classroom, he knows that there is a camera in the classroom, he wants to hide the distress. He or she wants to, he does not want to get pointed out. Now this was a problem I came up with. Now with the advent of AI, with the different technologies in AI, when we started working on it, I found out there can be certain better methods, and I very quickly found out one or two methods. I will start with maybe this one. Yeah, I will show 2 or 3 methods that I have used and have been successful to find out the actual list of students with where they did not understand. I will show you this video.
Wherever you go in the world, we guarantee it won't be like this. If you're going to host an event, make it exclusive and exceptional, with experiences that can be...
The teacher was teaching Cambridge University in the class, and a student who you saw that putting up a VR headset in his eyes, that student was not understanding in the class when the teacher was teaching Cambridge University. So what he did, he put on that VR headset in his eyes. And this is what he sees.
In Cambridge. This stunning city is well connected, only 60 miles from London and just 30 minutes from Stansted Airport.
Just a minute. Is Cambridge University 1,000 years old?
No, Cambridge University is 815 years old and is the 4th oldest university in the world. You may also reframe your question as, is Cambridge University older than 1,000 years?
Okay, thank you.
It's a spectacular setting. Hub where Crick and Watson cracked their secret of life, the DNA double helix.
Just a minute. DNA was discovered when?
It was discovered in the early 1950s. To be very precise, it was discovered in 1952. The correct way of asking this question is, when was the DNA discovered?
Okay, thank you.
Yet another incredible
In
the life of beautiful.
So the idea was very simple, with which I got a little bit of success, the initial success. It was that every student will be having an Oculus headset with an AI tutor embedded over there. When the teacher is teaching and a student does not understand, when or after the teacher's teaching is over, the student may ask the question. For example, the student did not understand Cambridge University. Student asked the AI assistant that I don't understand Cambridge University, and a video started playing in front of his eyes when he was wearing the Oculus headset. And the AI tutor, the AI assistant over here was also ready to answer his or her questions. This is a real-time video. I have not edited any video. I've just taken the actual video and showed you. What happened was, when the student asked that, okay, this question I don't understand, when was it discovered? So it actually answered those questions and also framed the correct way of answering the questions. So it was actually an AI tutor which was helping the student to learn. This is one of the methods which I got success with. There are many other methods. Another quick method I'm going to show you is this, virtual on-road learning. It showed that a student who is learning in a class is good, but suppose, for example, if he can learn on-road in the sense that, suppose he is not understanding a particular thing in the laboratory, That laboratory equipment comes in front of his eyes, and that laboratory thing actually starts working exactly in the way it will be doing. He's understanding better. For example, a student over here, I have given this example, that a student in the classroom wears that Oculus headset and starts moving around the streets of London, say, where the AI assistant is guiding him which way to go, how to go, which building is this, when was this building discovered, and so on. A very quick look at the video again. It is running a little problematic, sorry for that. So let me stop this now. The thing is very simple. He or she is in the classroom wearing that same Oculus headset and starting to feel that he is moving around the streets of London, and there is an AI assistant to guide him which way to go, where to go, and so on. Now, add on with this, I embedded two more things which actually give me the full success, and this one is this. Feedback on course quality, like this. For example, somebody is taking an English classroom, and the student is seeing the teacher in the classroom like this.
Today, we will talk about adverbs. An adverb is a word that can modify or describe a verb, adjective, another adverb, or entire sentence. Examples: Ali walked quickly.
Hi, I am finding it difficult to understand adverbs.
This is the feedback analysis at the end of the class, that how many students actually understood the content of the class. And that way, a teacher is helped to understand that what is his better way of delivering. That, okay, this part of the lecture, 70% students did not understand. So the student can give immediate feedback just by talking to the AI assistant. And the last way that I took was this. At the end of the class, some So this was the last thing which I said, that at the end of the class, some auto-generated questions comes in front of his or her eyes, which he answers, and dependent on that, the teacher can make out that how much the student understood, because the questions are all auto-generated from his or her own class. So this is how the whole thing added together can give a complete feeling and a complete thing, that how the teacher is performing in the class, how many students are understanding in the class, how many students are not understanding, and last but not the least, I will take this one, which is assistive technology. There are some students, this is my last point, sorry. Assistive technology is, there are some students in the class who are unable to maybe also hear or maybe understand anything in the class, understand the movements of the class. For them, a book being converted to a video. This is the last video that I'm going to show you. And all these are actual shootings, not any made video.
Hello and welcome. You are reading The Written World, How Literature Shaped History.
The student is reading the book.
You have read this part yesterday. New chapter, Alexander's Pillow Book. Meaning, the book which Alexander the Great used to keep by his pillow at night. Who was Alexander?
So again, I am not going to take more time because I have been given 15 minutes time and I want to close it now. But the idea was very simple, that if the student does not understand, then a book being converted to a video format. Again, this had given me enough success, and I could say that combined all this, a combined method of all this gave me a correct results up to 91%. I am a hardcore researcher in this field, and I got a success up to 91%, that in 91% cases we could find out which student is lacking in what aspect. And that way, a teacher can provide that student a better education with the expectation that all students at the end of the class will come to the same point. And I would like to end by saying this does not reduce human requirement, instead indicates the requirement of more humans as teachers to impart personal care. You are only detecting the students. Now to impart the personal care, more humans will be required. So here AI is not going to take away the jobs, it is only going to help the learning. I only had these things. I am the Vice Chancellor of UEM Jaipur, and thank you so much for listening to me. I have been implementing all this in my university, UEM Jaipur, and I found that after implementing this, students are in a better position, attendance in the class have increased drastically, and also interest for learning has increased by a huge amount. So I got success to some extent, and so I can say that, okay, this might be a technology to use in the coming days. Thank you so much for your patient listening, and thank you for hearing me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, oh, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Professor Dr. Biswajoy Chatterjee, may I request Mr. Dhruva Mukherjee to kindly come on stage and do the honors of felicitating Professor Dr. Biswajoy Chatterjee, Vice Chancellor and co-founder of UEM Jaipur.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, okay. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the wonderful session. It was great hearing you, and I hope that we get to hear more of you in the future. Thank you very much, sir.